On our wedding anniversary, my husband, Marcus, was away on a business trip and couldn't be with me, so he had his secretary, Luna, deliver a car. Over the phone, Marcus sounded extremely apologetic. "Honey, I can't be there for our anniversary. Please don't be mad, okay? I sent you a car, and there's a heartfelt message from me on the dashcam. I promise it'll move you to tears." I looked at the intertwining bodies fiercely intertwined on the dashcam, and the used condoms discarded on the back seat. I gripped my phone tightly, and chillingly uttered one word: fine. I wasn't angry, because I knew I was about to lose my husband. Besides the condoms thrown on the car seat, there were also crumpled, torn stockings in the corner of the back seat. My stomach churned, and I fought back the nausea, closed the car door, and tossed the car keys to Marcus's secretary. Just as I turned, I glimpsed an identical car, same model, same color, parked in a nearby spot. Seeing me stare at the car, the secretary looked uncomfortable. Under my persistent questioning, the secretary stammered out the truth. It turned out Marcus had bought cars for both me and his mistress. For convenience, he'd chosen identical models. But in his haste to leave, he'd grabbed the wrong keys, which was why the secretary had delivered the wrong car. I felt like a fool. The girl entangled with Marcus on the dashcam was Luna. She was a student I had been sponsoring. 5 years ago, when I was collecting material in a small rural town, I met Luna. That year, she had just finished middle school, and her parents were forcing her to drop out for dowry demands, to marry a disabled man in their village. To continue her studies, Luna knelt before me, begging me to sponsor her. I was an orphan. I had endured many hardships to get into college, so having walked through the rain myself, I wanted to offer her an umbrella too. So, I agreed without hesitation. I sponsored her for a full 5 years. But I never imagined in the end, I would end up sponsoring an ungrateful backstabber. She used my money and slept with my husband. What was hardest for me to accept was that Marcus had also bought her an apartment, and it was right in our neighborhood. At that moment, everything clicked into place for me. Why, who disliked running, had suddenly taken up night jogging a year ago, insisting on going out for a run every single evening. It turned out it was all an excuse. He was just sneaking off to meet Luna. Several times, I offered to run with him, but he always found excuses to put me off. It seemed he was doing his running in Luna's bed. Later, Marcus seemed no longer satisfied with just 2 hours of night jogging. He frequently used business trips as an excuse to stay away from home every few days. When he was occasionally home, his phone was always glued to his hand. I couldn't even remember how long it had been since Marcus had eaten a meal with me. Last month, on my birthday, Marcus was home with me for a rare change. But halfway through the meal, he suddenly claimed there was an emergency at work, and rushed out, leaving me behind. Faced with his indifference, I foolishly consoled myself, thinking it might be the 7-year itch, and perhaps things would get better after a while. Now I understood, it wasn't the 7-year itch at all. He had simply fallen out of love with me long ago. Thinking of all this, my heart felt as if it had been pierced by countless steel needles, and abiding pain permeated my entire body. I found Luna in my text messages contacts and opened her social media feed. Looking at it now, I realized her social media feed was full of Marcus's presence. On her birthday, the man holding her hand as they cut the cake was Marcus. When it rained, the man who held an umbrella for her, getting one of his shoulders drenched, was also Marcus. Content I had never paid close attention to before now became sharp thorns, pricking me until I had nowhere to hide. Marcus returned the next day. To make up for missing our wedding anniversary, he pulled out a necklace from behind his back. "Honey, don't be mad anymore. I bought this for you during my business trip." I fell for it almost instantly, just like I fell for you at first sight all those years ago. Seeing the necklace, the last sliver of hope I held for him completely vanished. The necklace was a complimentary gift that came with a certain designer bag, and I had just seen that very designer bag yesterday when I scrolled through Luna's social media feed. She had posted it a month ago on her social media feed. The caption read, "I just casually mentioned it, and someone flew all the way to Harbor City to buy it for me. Someone who loves you remembers every single thing you say." I looked at him coldly, my eyes devoid of any emotion. Then I turned and handed the divorce papers I'd drafted last night to Marcus. "Sign them." Marcus stiffened for a moment when he saw the divorce papers, but quickly regained his composure, as if he had expected it. He didn't take the divorce papers seriously at all. He took them, glanced at them, and tore them up without even reading. "Grace, I want you to think carefully. If you leave me, you'll have nothing. If you stay, at least you'll still be Mrs. Vance. I know this is hard for you to accept, but after all these years together, I'm just tired of it. This is all my fault. It has nothing to do with Luna. She's still a student. If you're angry, take it out on me. I just hope you won't take it out on her. Marcus was right. If I left him, I would truly have nothing. I was an orphan. My parents had passed away when I was very young. I was often bullied by classmates when I was in school. It was Marcus who stood up for me and protected me. He of the past was like a beacon of light in the darkness, giving me a home and warmth. All these years, I had been working hard, perhaps hoping to make myself better, worthy of his kindness. Marcus, what exact why do you want? I practically screamed, my voice hoarse from too much emotion. Grace, don't be unreasonable. Let's talk when you've calmed down. Marcus tried to leave, impatiently pushing me away, and my back slammed hard against the table. Suddenly, my lower abdomen cramped sharply, and then I felt a warm gush between my legs. The warm, sticky sensation made my heart clench. An ominous premonition surged through me, and I instinctively looked down at myself. Grace, you're bleeding. Marcus's voice was laced with panic, his eyes wide as he stared at my lower body. However, he quickly reacted. Without a moment's hesitation, he scooped me up and rushed straight to the hospital. The doctor said that due to extreme emotional fluctuation and the impact I sustained, I had a miscarriage. The baby I had finally conceived was gone, just like that. My tears finally streamed uncontrollably from my eyes. In that moment, my world seemed to plunge into instant silence. Marcus and I had been married for 7 years, and I hadn't been able to get pregnant. To have a child of our own, we decided to try IVF. For over a year, I had endured excruciating pain, persisting with daily fertility injections. Back then, when Marcus saw the numerous needle marks on my belly, he would hold me and cry like a child. He felt deeply for me. He threw away the fertility injections, and wouldn't let me take them anymore. Marcus said with utmost seriousness, "We won't have children. I don't want you to suffer like this. Having you is enough for me. I'll handle my parents." Now everything had changed. Even with Marcus sitting by my hospital bed, his heart was clearly no longer with me. He was eager to text Luna. The moment I opened my eyes, I could clearly see his phone screen. "Baby, be good, stop messing around. Something came up here, so I can't come back tonight." "No. I want you to come back right now. I prepared a surprise for you. If you're back within 10 minutes, you can do what for you want with me. Hurry." No waiting past then Luna sent a photo of herself wearing black stockings. Marcus's eyes were practically glued to the photo. The lust in his eyes made me feel utterly nauseated. Seeing that my emotions seemed stable, he hastily left, using a flimsy excuse. After that day, Marcus never came back to the hospital. Whether it was true or false, we both knew perfectly well. A week later, I had recovered sufficiently and handled my own discharge from the hospital. On the way back from the hospital, the taxi driver was scrolling through a short video app while waiting at a red light. The driver suddenly grumbled, "How can this college girl be like this? So young, yet she's a mistress for money." I looked over at the sound. The video showed a group of older women storming into a university and beating up a mistress. What shocked me was that the mistress in the video was Luna. What astounded me even more was that the woman beating up the mistress was my mother-in-law, Marcus's mother. My mother-in-law had brought 2 of her best friends to beat up Luna this time. One pulled her hair, another tore at her clothes, and the third was responsible for slapping her. Seeing the situation escalating, the school authorities still called the police. Ultimately, all 4 were taken to the police station by the authorities. After the driver dropped me off at the neighborhood, I had just gotten out of the car, my mind still processing how Marcus's mother could have suddenly gone to Luna's school to assault her. I didn't even notice Marcus walking toward me from the opposite direction. He walked up to me, raised his hand, and violently slapped me across the face. "Grace, you're utterly malicious." I covered my face, staring incredulously at the man before me. Marcus actually hit me? My face was burning, but my heart was as cold as ice. "I told you, if you have a problem, take it out on me. Why would you make trouble for Luna? She's just a student." Marcus glared at me savagely, gritting his teeth as he spoke. "You're such a scheming woman. You even used someone else to do your dirty work. Our divorce is between us 2. Why did you involve my mother, having her blow off your steam and instigating her to go to Luna's school and hit her?" So, he thought I had reported it. I let out a cold laugh and said, word by word, "Marcus, believe it or not, I never told your mother about us. And I certainly didn't ask her to go cause trouble for Luna at school." "Grace, you dare to do it but not admit it?" I'm warning you, if anything happens to Luna's baby, don't expect to leave that hospital alive. Marcus saw that I wasn't speaking, and thought I was guilty. Grace, you truly disappoint me. Just because you can't have children, you want to destroy Luna's baby. I must have been blind to marry such a vicious woman like you. The man before me felt utterly unfamiliar. His aggressive demeanor, all for his mistress, sickened me to no end. It was I who was blind back then. I was about to take out the newly printed divorce papers. Suddenly, my mother-in-law's angry roar came from behind me. Marcus! Marcus had just walked up to his mother. Slap! Marcus was caught off guard as his mother slapped him across the face. You ungrateful son! My mother-in-law pointed at Marcus's nose, trembling with rage. Tell me honestly, what is your relationship with Luna? Why did you even bail her out? Marcus hadn't expected his mother to be so upset. Mom, I'm your own son. Why aren't you taking my side? You'd rather listen to Grace's nonsense, go to Luna's school and make a scene, and not help me. Did you ever think how Luna will go to that school again after you two caused such a commotion? If I hadn't found a lawyer to bail you out, you'd still be in the police station now. I didn't want to watch them argue anymore. I turned to leave, but Marcus grabbed my arm. Grace, don't go. Explain to Mom that this is all a misunderstanding. I curled my lips into a sneer. Marcus, you got Luna pregnant. How can you still claim it's a misunderstanding? As soon as the words left my mouth, Mrs. Vance's eyes widened instantly, and she gasped, What? Grace, what did you say? Marcus hadn't expected me to expose him on the spot. He visibly panicked. My mother-in-law continued to press him. Marcus, is what Grace said true? Is really pregnant with your child? Marcus couldn't look at his mother. Yes. As soon as he admitted it, Mrs. Vance immediately raised her hand and slapped Marcus again. Just as she was about to deliver a second slap, she lost her footing and staggered backward. Marcus swiftly caught her, and Mrs. Vance, in Marcus's arms, burst into wails. What curse has fallen upon our Vance family? Marcus, do you have any idea that homewrecker Luna is the mistress who seduced your father? For when heard his mother's words, he froze on the spot, his face filled with an expression of utter disbelief. Not only Marcus, but even I was stunned by her revelation. Luna was really playing a wild game, not even sparing an old man? It was both preposterous and disgusting. After a long moment, Marcus finally spoke. No way. Mom, there must be some misunderstanding. Luna is very innocent, she's not that kind of person. Mrs. Vance saw that Marcus was still defending Luna, and instantly stopped her wailing. She abruptly sat up from the ground, pointing at Marcus's nose and cursing him out. What kind of spell has that homewrecker cast on you and your father, that even now, you're still protecting her? I saw photos of him and that homewrecker on your dad's phone, and transfer records too. Marcus, however, remained dismissive. That's it? What does that prove? Mom, that's just your speculation. I know Luna, there's no way she'd be interested in my father. Marcus stood there, his neck stiff, looking completely unyielding. Mrs. Vance, enraged by Marcus's absurd statements, lost control again. She picked up her designer bag and started hitting him over the head, her movements swift and vicious. As she hit him, she cursed, I see you've been completely bewitched by that woman. Today, I'm going to beat some sense into you. Marcus frantically used his hands to shield his face, his meticulously styled hair now a mess. Yet he was still muttering excuses for Luna, and the scene quickly descended into chaos. I took a few steps back, crossed my arms, and watched the unfolding drama. Seeing in such a pathetic state, I couldn't help but laugh out loud. When they had mostly finished fighting, I wiped the smile from my face and said, Mom, since Marcus doesn't believe it, why don't we bring Luna and Dad here for a confrontation? My mother-in-law, still panting, looked at me. I'd like to, but those two, father and son, have hidden that hussy. I haven't been able to find her place yet. I smiled and said, Mom, you don't know, but I do. Your son, for the convenience of his affair with her, specially bought an apartment for Luna right here in our neighborhood. It's in the building just ahead, I'll take you there. When heard I was going to take his mother there, he panicked even more, shouting urgently, Grace, what are you trying to do? Are you trying to destroy my family? Initially, Mrs. Vance didn't like me. She resented that I was an orphan and not good enough for their family. Later, when we remained childless for years, she disliked me even more. Yet now, my mother-in-law was empathizing with me, and, for once, speaking up for me. Oh, just shut up. What has Grace done wrong? You and your father are the ones who destroyed this family, not her. After she finished speaking, my mother-in-law pulled me forward. Luna lived right next to our building, and her apartment was twice the size of ours. We quickly arrived at Luna's doorstep. My mother-in-law was about to raise her hand to pound on the door, but I stopped her. I told her that only by going in unexpectedly would we perhaps find a pleasant surprise. Mom, let's not tip them off. Marcus knows the code. Let him open the door. When heard what I said, he immediately refused. He even tried to call Luna to warn her, but I was quick and snatched his phone away immediately. Marcus, I think I hear a man's voice. Aren't you curious who Luna is with? In broad daylight, they have the curtains drawn. Who knows what unspeakable things they're doing? What nonsense are you spouting? Luna isn't like that. Luna was sacred and inviolable in Marcus's heart. Seeing me slander her like that, he immediately became enraged. He wanted to lecture me, but my mother-in-law retorted relentlessly, if you want to prove that hussy's innocence, open the door right now. Are you afraid to open it, afraid of seeing something you shouldn't? Marcus gritted his teeth, and finally, reluctantly, entered the code and opened the door. The moment the door opened, all three of us gasped simultaneously. On the sofa, two naked bodies, limbs intertwined, were none other than Luna and my father-in-law. They were so engrossed in their passion they hadn't heard the beep of the keypad lock at the door. The moment they saw us, Mr. Vance, still on top of Luna, was so startled he suddenly began to convulse. His face instantly twisted, and veins bulged on his forehead. Mr. Vance cried out in pain, "Don't move! Don't move! Don't move! I can't get out!" His voice was filled with despair. Beneath him, Luna desperately pushed Mr. Vance, struggling hard and crying as she pleaded with Marcus, "Marcus, help me, please." But no matter how hard Luna pushed, she couldn't dislodge Mr. Vance. And the more she struggled, the more Mr. Vance seemed to suffer. I desperately wanted to laugh, but I couldn't. Because I was also worried about seeing this scene of an older man with a much younger woman, and whether it would give me an eyesore. Mr. Vance, head thrown back, begged us, quickly call 911. Before he could finish his sentence, he passed out. Oh? Was this what they called sudden cardiac arrest during intimacy? This unsightly scene before us was like a heavy slap, striking Marcus hard across the face. At this point, Marcus was completely bewildered, standing motionless, his face pale. Mrs. Vance looked at the scene before her, pointing at the two naked bodies, her lips trembling, you, unable to utter a complete sentence for a long time. The next second, Mrs. Vance's body went limp, and she collapsed heavily onto the floor with a thud, passing out instantly. Mr. Vance and Luna were carried out naked by the paramedics. Many people gathered in the neighborhood to watch, everyone holding up their phones to record, and they were trending online that very day. Marcus's company was severely affected. Overnight, the company's market value plummeted repeatedly. Mr. Vance died in the ambulance. When Vance woke up, before she could even fully process things, she fainted again upon hearing the news of Mr. Vance's death. The series of shocks completely broke Mrs. Vance's health. Now, she was paralyzed in bed from a stroke. Marcus was at his wits' end from this series of unexpected events. And I, of course, wouldn't let him off so easily. I intended to make him pay the price for his actions. I hired a lawyer and immediately filed for divorce. Meanwhile, the approval for my transfer to an international project, which I had previously applied for at work, had come through. Once the divorce was finalized, I would leave this place. While packing my luggage, I surprisingly found a security camera on the wedding photo on the nightstand in the master bedroom. I confronted Marcus with the security camera, and he admitted he had installed it. I stared at him, my eyes wide with disbelief. "Marcus, why on earth would you do this? How could you put something like this in our bedroom?" Marcus lowered his head, not daring to meet my gaze. After a long silence, he slowly began to speak. "Luna didn't allow me sleep with you." The security camera was linked to her phone, and she would monitor us through her phone every day. As soon as I made any intimate gesture toward you, she would call me frantically. Listening to Marcus's words, a surge of anger shot from my feet straight to my heart. I stepped forward and fiercely slapped Marcus several times. "Marcus, you two are absolutely shameless." Marcus swayed from my slaps, and several bright red handprints instantly appeared on his face. But he paid no attention to them. He fell to his knees before me with a thud, clutching my legs tightly. "Honey, I truly know I was wrong. For the sake of all our years together as husband and wife, please give me another chance, okay? I'm begging you, don't leave me. I really have nothing left now." Marcus looked up, gazing at me pleadingly, his eyes filled with sincerity. I forcefully pulled free from his grip, stepped back a few paces, and scoffed, Marcus, how can you say you have nothing left? Don't you still have Luna and the child in her belly? I'll make your family of 3 complete. At the mention of Luna, Marcus's expression was quite a sight: anger, embarrassment, but no shame whatsoever. Don't mention that hussy. It was ironic to see Marcus gritting his teeth at Luna. He seemed to have completely forgotten how much he adored her in the beginning. Marcus's acting was truly impressive. The next second, he was looking at me pitifully. Honey, do you know? Luna was never pregnant, she tricked me. I said in a cold voice, now that things have come to this, I suppose I should tell you the truth. Marcus, you will never have children in your life. 6 back then, the doctor told me you had fertility issues, and to spare your pride, I asked him to keep it from you, telling everyone it was my problem. Even if you underwent IVF, the chances of success were very low. For that slim chance, I endured countless fertility injections and so much suffering. The color drained from Marcus's face. See, then the baby in your belly, yes. The child I miscarried back then was the only child you'll ever have. It was you. You personally killed your own child. I practically screamed those words. Marcus's eyes were filled with shock, regret, and despair. He seemed to have been drained of all his strength, collapsing onto the ground, and kept muttering, "No, impossible." After that day, Marcus disappeared. The next time I saw him was at the divorce hearing. In court, Marcus was cooperative throughout. Marcus chose to leave with nothing financially, giving me both the house and the savings. At the same time, he also sold Vance, and gave all the money to me. Grace, I owe you this. I'm giving you everything I have, I just beg you to forgive me. I said coldly, no matter what you do, I can never forgive you. Immediately after, I sued Luna. I sought to recover all the money Marcus had spent on her during our marriage, totaling over 3 million. Most of the money had already been spent by Luna. All I could recover were that apartment, the car, and the designer bags and jewelry. I hired someone to investigate all of Luna's expenses, only to discover that most of the money Luna had sent to her parents. Luna had helped her parents build a new house in their hometown, and even helped her brother get married. I then applied for compulsory enforcement through the court. In the end, Luna's parents' money and house were both frozen. As for Luna, she had been trending online twice in a short period, becoming a pariah whom everyone at school avoided. Even the school authorities advised her to withdraw, so she ended up dropping out and returning to her hometown. Just when I thought the matter had finally settled, Luna stirred up trouble again. That day, I brought a real estate agent to sell the old house. But to my surprise, Luna actually showed up with a group of people and cornered us inside the house. The moment I opened the door, I saw a huge crowd standing outside, and my heart immediately sank. A bad feeling surged through me. Among these people were Luna's parents and brother, as well as some burly men from their village. Each of them had a wild, aggressive look in their eyes. Before I could even react, they swarmed into my house, charging in wildly, yelling that they were going to take everything valuable. Leading the charge was Leo, Luna's brother. As soon as he entered, he loudly barked orders at the others, cursing and ranting, claiming it was all my fault their family was in this situation now, and that they were taking what belonged to them. Grace, you hussy. My daughter bought us that car and house, what right do you have to take them back? You couldn't even keep your own man. And now you have the nerve to come after our Luna to get things and money back. Things given to us are ours. Today, you must return the money. I saw Luna standing in the crowd, her face bruised and mottled. Her eyes showed a hint of panic and resentment. 7 Grace, if you withdraw the lawsuit, we'll let you off the hook. Grace, may you die a terrible death. You took all the money back, how are my parents and brother supposed to live? How am I supposed to live? Are you trying to ruin me? It's all because of you, they're going to sell me to an old bachelor. I looked at them coldly. You've got some nerve. This isn't your village, you've already broken the law. The police will be here soon. And you think I'll withdraw the lawsuit? Dream on. Leo, Luna's brother, was furious and humiliated. He took a big step forward, raising the wooden club in his hand, ready to strike. Don't make me do this the hard way. If you don't withdraw the lawsuit today, you won't have an easy time of it. Just as the wooden club was about to descend, a figure shot out from the crowd like lightning, resolutely shielding me. I stared, my eyes wide, at the figure who was both familiar and strange. It was Marcus. He leaned slightly forward, holding me tightly in his arms. I saw blood streaming from his forehead, that vivid red a shocking, glaring sight in the air. Grace, don't be afraid. I'm here. For a moment, I was disoriented. It was like we were back in high school, when I was cornered in an alley by bullies. Just as I felt helpless, Marcus had protected me then, just as he was doing now, shielding me with his body, and he had said the exact same words to me. "Brother, it's this man. Beat him to death, quick." Luna's shrill voice yanked me back to reality. Luna's eyes were full of malice. When her brother heard that the man before them was Marcus, his eyes immediately bulged with rage. The group swarmed forward, kicking and punching Marcus. Marcus was beaten relentlessly, completely unable to fight back. He curled into a ball. Just at this critical moment, the neighborhood security guards heard the commotion and rushed over. The guards quickly charged forward, trying to pull apart those who were assaulting him, and at the same time, the police arrived. The police quickly took control of the situation, and took Luna's brother and the others away. Marcus lay motionless on the ground, covered in wounds and bloodstains. He was taken to the hospital for treatment. I stood rooted to the spot, watching the ambulance disappear, my mind reeling with countless thoughts. Leo, Luna's brother, and the villagers who participated, were sentenced to a prison sentence for multiple charges including trespassing and assault. As for Marcus, due to his severe injuries, he was paralyzed in bed, just like his mother. Not long after, the hospital called to say Marcus wanted to see me. The moment I heard that news, a ripple went through me. But I refused. The past hurts were still vivid, and I couldn't easily let go. I sold the house and moved to a new city. At the branch office, I immersed myself entirely in my work. Slowly, I healed my inner wounds, leaving the painful past behind me. In this new city, I would meet new people and start a new chapter. Thank you for watching today's story. If you enjoyed this video, please like and share. We look forward to hearing your thoughts in the comments section. Feel free to share your opinions. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more exciting stories. See you next time.